Hey gardeners, Floridagardengal here today, and guess what else is here? Winter. Yes, the winter vortex is upon Central Florida. And even though it doesn't get cold here very often, when it does, we really have to think about protecting our sensitive plants. So today I'm going to share with you the plants that I'm going to be covering and how I will be covering them. The plants I'm not going to worry about covering because even though they'll die, I know they'll come back. And then the plants that I'm going to move into my garden shed. So let's get started with protecting our plants. So in my garden, the first thing I need to worry about is my vegetable garden. As you can see, I have some squash growing, and behind that I have some lettuce growing and some spinach. I also have some brassicas, and although you wouldn't have to cover the brassicas, I'm going to just be on the safe side and cover that too. I have green beans growing and celery growing. I have some blooms and tomatoes on my vines. I have peppers growing, and I certainly don't want to risk losing any of the vegetables, so all of those will get covered with frost cloth. So for the vegetables in the raised beds, we have these hoops that my husband constructed, and we will be putting this frost cloth over them with these clips that I got mostly at Dollar Tree, a couple of them from Walmart. And I'll take the frost cloth and spread it across the hoops, and then I'll make sure to fasten it very tightly against the hoops. You have to be careful. We always get very high wind when we're getting cold weather, so you want to make sure that those are very secure so they don't blow off. And then there's the tropicals I have up against my house, such as my money tree, my coleus, bromeliads, fern, bamboo, palm, scheffeleras, potato vine. All of those are going to need to be protected from the cold. So for these plants, I'll use the same frost cloth, and I'll tuck the bottom underneath the pots that are there and try to hold them with clips at the top and make sure that the wind does not blow the frost cloth off. It's very disappointing when you wake up the next morning and find that your plants were not protected after all because the wind blew the cloth off. For the window boxes on my garden shed, which has some potato vine, I'm using curtains that I got at Goodwill. They're thermal paneled curtains, and they just were cut into pieces to fit over the window boxes and to fit over some pots that I have in the yard. And here are some plants that I had on my front porch or around the house that I've just shoved into the garden shed where they'll be safe and sound until the cold passes. So I'm not going to cover my herbs such as mint and chives, although you would want to cover basil. That's in my raised bed, so that's getting covered. I'm not covering my raspberries, and I'm not covering several of the different bushes that I have growing in my yard, from my pom-pom bush to the firecracker bush to the alamander bush to the jatropha's. None of those am I going to cover. They will die, but they can be cut back in March, and they will come back again, sometimes even stronger than before. And here are some plants I'm not going to cover, but probably should. But some of them have gotten so large, there's just no possibility of covering them. So I probably will lose those, but that's going to just be that. So that's what I'm doing in my garden. The things I'm covering, the types of covers I'm using, the things I'm not going to cover because I know they'll die and come back, and the plants that I decided to put into my garden she shed. So how about you? What are you doing in your garden to protect your plants from this chilly weather we're going to get? Please add your comments below and share your tips so you can help other gardeners, because we do like to share our gardening community tips with each other. In the meantime, if you like this video, please hit the like button, or if you'd like more tips in the future, please hit the subscribe button. Until then, happy gardening!